Loss of residual camber. Before we begin discussion on loss of residual camber, let's first understand the concept of residual camber. In all RDSO standard, Open Web Girders drawings, a table is given showing camber values under different conditions. On left-hand side, A, B, C values are given, which represent different loading conditions. On the right-hand side, panel points of girder bottom chord are mentioned starting from first panel point, that is L0, and ending at mid-length panel. Camber values up to the mid-panel point are given, which covers half of the girder. Camber values on next remaining panel points may be obtained from these values because the arrangement of girder is symmetrical in nature. In the example taken here, there are 6 panel points shown, covering 5 panel lengths. The camber value written against A represents camber on jack. It refers to the camber required for mitigating the deflection due to dead load, superimposed dead load, called SIDL, live load, and impact load. This is also called camber on jack, because at the time of trial assembly, the panel points will be raised by this much value when girder is supported on jack at every panel point. This represents values of camber when no load has been transferred to the girder and girder is resting on the jacks. Next values are given against B, and it is called camber after removal of jack. So when jacks are removed, the dead load gets transferred to the girder, and it consumes some amount of camber mentioned under A in the form of deflection. So now this camber written against B represents camber values due to SIDL, live load, and impact load, as dead load stands transferred. Now the girder is dismantled and it is sent to site. It is brought at site and track, guardrail, checkered plates, etc. are laid over it, which are basically SIDL, i.e. superimposed dead load. Once this SIDL is also imposed, the remaining camber is called C, that is, residual camber. So residual camber C is basically actual camber after final erection of girder at site, which is ready to receive the live loads. Now only live load and impact load remain to come on the girder. Residual camber is a very critical parameter to indicate the health of the girder in general. Ideally, when the live load for which the girder has been designed comes on the girder at design speed, the girder should assume the nominal shape, or in simple words, bottom chord of girder should become horizontal. That's why in the table, the value of C at midspan L5, which is noted as 65.44 millimeters, is also the value of D, which is deflection under load testing under design, EU, DL, and design speed. Sometime there is variation in the residual camber values actually achieved at site and values of residual camber mentioned in RDSO approved drawing. The difference should be dealt in accordance with instructions issued by RDSO through its letter CBS/DAO dated 31st July 2019. For the purpose of this letter, the residual camber shall be the camber value of the girder after its erection, including track and footpath installation. Up to 10% of designed residual camber as given in drawing may be allowed without any further action required. This has been accepted considering the allowable tolerances in fabrication process. For camber variation beyond 10% and up to 25% of the designed residual camber, the girders shall be carefully inspected for any distress without opening any joints. If nothing unusual is detected, full speed shall be allowed. Camber variation beyond 25% and up to 50% may be a result of localized stress concentration and overstressing of some members due to irregular and unplanned deformations. To ascertain this, 10% of rivets or bolts in the last 4 joints of the girders, that is L0, L1, U1, U2, plus these same 4 joints of other end may be opened and inspected for hole elongations beyond permissible values as given in fabrication codes. Apart from this, girder is to be thoroughly inspected for any signs of overstress. If there are no signs of stress concentration or hole elongations in members and gusset, then full speed of traffic may be allowed. In case overstressing or hole elongation is noted, the girder should be monitored through instrumentation and should be kept under observation for at least 3 months. Under caution, and speed should be increased progressively. However, camber variation beyond 25% and up to 50% of the designed residual camber, as discussed above, is quite abnormal and will be treated as poor workmanship in fabrication and erection. The above guidelines do not allow the executing agencies any relaxation in quality control in the fabrication and erection work. The fabrication tolerances as given in fabrication codes shall be strictly followed. Fabrication tolerances are given in IRSB 1 Appendix. The PDF of this letter has been made available in the comments section. This was all about the topic. Tell us your topic of choice in case you want a video to watch. Subscribe for more such content.